Oh, good evening all. Just a quick one. Just want to show you I have begun putting the lacquer on this, lacquer varnish, whatever it is. It's sort of somewhat disappointing, for me anyway. Like, I like to be able to make things look new, but as I probably explained all this in the last video anyway on this boat. This is one of those things where you're never ever going to make it look new. It's just not going to happen. You can't, it's stained from weathering, and it is so deep that you can't sort of rub it off, and of course that comes up really, really dark. The bits that you see, the light patches, that's where the old varnish was still on there, where it's protected it. And you got a couple other places where, there was something laying against it here and up here. There wasn't actually any varnish left on there, but it was out of the weather. Something was laying on top of it, so it hasn't weathered. But the only thing I can do when it gets into this state is coat it all and protect it so it doesn't get worse. All I can do is preserve it in the state that it's in. I've come to the conclusion that 4 litres of paint's not going to be enough. I've used well over a third of it, not quite half. And I haven't even given the whole inner one coat yet. I did do down here, but as you can see, it's just soaking into it. And the only places where there's any bit of shine down here is where the varnish was still on there, the old varnish which I haven't scrubbed off. This was painted, a couple of days ago. There's now dust sitting on top of it from where I've been sanding around, the seats and stuff. I'm sort of doing it in bits and pieces because the fumes off it are just, like when I did that whole half a section of floor, even with the roller door up and both windows open, it just got so fumy in here that I couldn't even stay in here. So, that's why I didn't go on with the other half of the floor straight away. And I'll get to that. The piece, this, like, all this was painted. You can see where it was bare timber. It doesn't even look like it's had a coat. Hopefully, I've got to go over it, scrape it, probably sand it a little bit. I don't want to go trying to sand it all. I'm just going to scrape off anything that's sticking up. In here, I've got sections where it actually fried up the paint. The paint that was on it was thin, and you can see it here. It's fried the paint up. And but I'm not going to attempt to sand it off or anything like that. I'll sand it just lightly. I'll just smooth it a bit where it's fried the paint, and I'll go over it again. If it fries it again, I'll wait for it to dry and I'll go over it again. Eventually it'll stop frying it. But at this point I don't know how many coats of paint I'm going to need. It just keeps soaking it up. Same here. There's parts of it not too bad. Other parts is just absorbing it like a sponge. Especially along here. Like this has already been. Doesn't even look like it's had any lacquer on it. These pieces have had 2 coats up here. But the rest of this here has had a single coat. And yeah, it's also rough as, like, because this was cleaned up. The whole lot was sanded because it was all sort of lumpy and chunky and, yeah, very weathered. And, yeah, so it's been sanded with a 40 grit. And so I'll go along it now, probably with about 180 or something like that. Smooth it again before I give it another coat. Even these went really dry. That's why, when I was doing the seats, I just went over them again. But, yeah, you can see they're pretty chunky. Your places like down on the floor and everything, as long as it's sort of reasonable, no big sort of chunky bits. I'm not going to bother with it too much. But, yeah, seats and things are different. You want them smooth. You want your gunnels, the pieces that you look at first. You want them smooth and, yeah, looking nice. So, but yeah, you always get that with timber. Yeah, even if you sand it, you finish sanding it with a fine grade of paper. As soon as you put paint and lacquer on, it'll go furry. And so that's what I found now, is that I don't try and smooth. Like, I get it all sanded and, level. And then I'll put a coat of paint on it. And when that paint's dry, then I'll smooth it. And I'll paint it again. If it goes furry again, I'll sand it again, paint it again. And, yeah, but it is coming along. And, yeah, as I said, it's sort of one of those situations, as I said, where you really want it to look better than this, but it's just never going to. So, you've got to scrap with the idea and, get the idea out of your head that you're going to make it look new, because it's not going to. So, yeah, it's going to look antique. And the best job I can do on this, it's still going to look antique. So, yeah, that's what we're going with. Up here, this is both hard. This is hardwood. I reinforced that. That was breaking and a little bit rotted there. I sort of puttied it a little bit, filled it in. I scraped some of the rod off. But the blocks that were on here were all broken and everything. And, I come to the conclusion that it wasn't strong enough to begin with when it was first made. So, as I said, I had to remake blocks. Now I had a bit of hardwood, eucalyptus hardwood, and this is eucalyptus hardwood, but yeah, two different colours. And this bit's fine. That works for the rest of it, but that's just totally the wrong colour, and it looks new added on. I don't like it. So, yeah, I'm going to go looking for a bit of stain. I'll try and stain that dark or something. Or, yeah, put a bit of walnut stain over that or something now and try and, yeah, make it not look stand out as added on, So, yeah. But we're getting there. So, yeah. On the other front, I haven't sort of done much at all to the trailer. I come out last night and yeah, I'm trying to make these tail lights fit. But I had, if you really see it, it's probably too dark. I got a torch, I'll show you anyway. But it had like a big gap under it, like 10 mil or more gap under the inside. I thought about, bringing the guard out and meet the headlight. Didn't like that idea. Too thick bog. And I didn't want to do what I did on my Barger. On my Barger, I had the same issue. Like when you move your taillights up the guard to a different spot, they don't fit. And on my Barger, what I did was I cut this side right down. And I ended up cutting both sides. But yeah, I just kept cutting this until it fitted. But then what I found then is that when I went to put the bulbs in, there wasn't enough clearance for the bulbs. So then I might had to cut a hole in it and then make a tray on it so that rocks and things aren't hitting me bulbs and filling the whole thing up with dirt and etc. So I didn't want to go down that road again either, because it turned out to be quite a difficulty. Yeah, show you you can see the gap. Yeah, see how much I've built it on. Now if I had gas, I probably would have butt welded a piece on the bottom, cut it exactly, but yeah, I've only got this flux core wire at the moment. Can't afford a bottle of gas right now, and I friggin' hate it. And of course, this is way messier than it could be. You know, if I reverse the polarity again, you would get, you know, far less splatter and everything on that. Yeah, but yeah, this welder is not designed to do that. You know, and yeah, you got to pull it off and all, add leads and whatever to reverse the polarity, and then when I went back to gas, it just didn't want to weld properly. It was having all sorts of problems, and it took us several weeks to start welding properly again. So, yeah, I'm not going to go down that road again. I'm not going to reverse the polarity again. I'm just going to put up with it for the time being until I can afford some more gas. But, yeah, it's an absolute mess. The other problem I had, too, is that I hadn't actually, you know, scrub the bog off it. Like everything on this bug was covered in bog. Every panel, every part of every panel. And yeah, when I did scrub this up to weld a patch on, I found it was all full of rust holes around the back here. And yeah, like I'd already plated rust holes around the front, but I didn't notice the rust holes that were there as well. And yeah, that's a real pain with flux core. It is really hard to plug holes in thin metal with a flux core welder. And but I think I've got them all. It's sort of a bit like stick welding actually. If you're plugging a hole, like if you look at it straight away while it's glowing, if you've got no metal, if you've got flux just filling a hole with no metal in it, that bit will glow brighter than the other bit. Yeah, so if you look at it sort of straight away as soon as you finish, you can sort of see whether you've actually filled the hole or not. And, so I think I got it all, but anyway, as I said, it'll clean up. But yeah, that's a mess. I hate flux core. But yeah, I got a lot of expenses, man. A lot of other things I know just don't have $200+ for a bottle of gas right now. So just gonna have to put up with it for the time being. There's the other toilet, that's basically all the welding I got to do on this now anyway, so yeah, can wait for a while. And because I got a lot more welding to do on the van yet, but yeah, there's no way I'm going to touch the van with this shit. So yeah, anyway, so that's what we've been doing, and yeah, in between a whole lot of other things, yeah, around the yard and the house, and yeah, been quite a lot happening actually. Haven't had a lot of time to do anything much. Anyway, as I said, keep it short, leave it at that, and thanks for watching. Bye.